Maleficent is a fictional character from Walt Disney's 1959 film Sleeping Beauty, and an official Disney villain. She is the mistress of all evil, who, after not being invited to a royal christening, curses the infant Princess Aurora to prick her finger on the spindle of a spinning wheel and die before the sun sets on her 16th birthday. The character is Disney's version of the wicked fairy godmother from the original French fairy tale, loosely based on Carabosse from Tchaikovsky's famous ballet. She was first voiced by Eleanor Audley in the 1959 film, but has since been voiced by Lois Nettleton in Disney's House of Mouse and Susanne Blakeslee for the Kingdom Hearts video game franchise, in which Maleficent is a recurring villain. She is the primary protagonist in the 2014 live-action film of the same name, portrayed by Angelina Jolie, and is also set to appear in the upcoming made-for-television film Descendants, played by Broadway actress-singer Kristin Chenoweth. The character also appears as a recurring villain in the ABC fairy tale drama series Once Upon a Time, as well as its spin-off show, Sleeping Beauty. Maleficent first appears in the film Sleeping Beauty in King Stephan's castle by means of supernatural teleportation during the christening of Stephan's daughter, Aurora. Her appearance is preceded by a gust of wind and accompanied by a streak of lightning and her signature green flames. She is outwardly courteous, but implies she is offended that she did not receive an invitation to the ceremony like the other fairies, Flora, Fauna and Merryweather. When she asks the king and queen why she was not invited, Merryweather speaks up and tells Maleficent that she was not wanted. Shocked, she turns to leave this awkward situation, hoping that the king and queen will apologize for not inviting her. When the queen asks her if she was offended by this, Maleficent denies it and offers to bestow a gift on Aurora to prove she bears no ill will. Maleficent says that Aurora will grow in grace and beauty, beloved by all who know her as well, but to punish the king and queen for their insolence, she places a curse on Aurora so that before the sun sets on her 16th birthday, the girl will prick her finger on a spindle of a spinning wheel and die. Merryweather, who still has a gift she can use, weakens the curse so that Aurora will fall into a deep sleep instead, with only a kiss from her true love needed to awaken her. The three fairies hide Aurora until her 16th birthday passes while an angry Maleficent realizes her instructions to her goblin minions were wasted for most of the 16 years, as the goblins focused on searching for a baby the whole time. Maleficent blasts lightning at them in her fury, and then instructs her pet raven Diablo to hunt down the now adolescent Aurora. Once he succeeds, Maleficent visits Aurora on the evening of her 16th birthday in a form of a will-o'-the-wisp, hypnotizing Aurora before luring her to a remote tower and transforming into a spinning wheel. Aurora pricks her finger on the spindle, fulfilling the curse. To ensure Aurora will not be immediately awakened, Maleficent and her goons trap Prince Philip, Aurora's true love, and take him to Maleficent's castle in the Forbidden Mountains. She taunts Philip before she retreats to her own tower, explaining that she intends to leave him in her dungeon for 100 years, and then free him on his way to awaken his true love after he has aged and she is not. She leaves satisfied, saying, "For the first time in 16 years, I shall sleep well." After Maleficent leaves, the fairies then free Prince Philip of his chains and they escape the dungeon, fending off repeated attacks from Maleficent's minions which are thwarted by the fairies' magic. In the process, Merryweather turns Diablo into stone. Maleficent soon discovers that the prince has escaped from her dungeon, and is equally furious to see Diablo's fate. She ascends to the top of the highest tower of the castle. She summons lightning bolts and spells at Philip to hinder him, including a forest of thorns, before personally dealing with him by transporting herself in front of King Stephan's castle, blocking his entry. She tells him that he shall have to fight her, and all the powers of hell, and transforms into a huge dark dragon. Though she overwhelms him, and it looks like Philip is about to meet his death, the three fairies transfer some of their power to Philip's sword as he throws the weapon into her heart, fatally wounding her. As she falls forward, she attempts to devour him, but misses and falls off the crumbling cliff to her death. All that is left of her is a black and purple blob with the sword still embedded in it as it blackens, signifying that the evil Maleficent is now truly dead, and her evil influence eternally terminated. Kingdom Hearts, Maleficent appears as a major character in the Kingdom Hearts video game series. She is voiced by Susanne Blakeslee in the English versions and Toshiko Sawada in the Japanese versions. She has appeared in every game in the series except for Kingdom Hearts 358/2 Days. Kingdom Hearts. In the original Kingdom Hearts, Maleficent has gained control of the Heartless, creatures born from hearts taken by the darkness, and used them to bring about the destruction of countless worlds, including her own world. Leading a group of other Disney villains and using the ruins of Hollow Bastion as a base of operations, Maleficent seeks out the 7 princesses of Heart to open the door to Kingdom Hearts, having already captured Princess Aurora. Until the appearance of Chenoweth's Heartless, Ansem, she is built up to be the main villain, recruiting Riku to her side by offering him the means to save Carrie after she lost her heart, while also manipulating him into believing that, since gaining the Keyblade, Sora stopped caring for him and Carrie and replaced them with Donald Duck and Goofy. After Maleficent is defeated by Sora, Donald, Goofy and the Beast, Riku, possessed by Ansem, unlocks the darkness in Maleficent's heart with the Keyblade of People's Hearts. This gives her more power, and she turns into her dragon form. Despite her increase in power, however, Maleficent is defeated again and fades to darkness, leaving nothing but her robe, with Ansem commenting at how she ironically failed to notice the darkness eating away at her own heart. Kingdom Hearts, Chain of Memories. Despite her death, Maleficent reappears in Kingdom Hearts, Chain of Memories as a figment of the memories of Sora and Riku in Castle Oblivion, appearing before the two of them in their own storylines. In Sora's story, Maleficent kidnaps Belle and uses her as bait for the Beast, hoping their romance will let Belle's pure heart flourish so that she may use it for her own evil purposes, though her plans are foiled by Sora and she is destroyed. In Riku's story, she serves as a token of the darkness in his heart and goads him into succumbing to the darkness again, but Riku also destroys her in his attempt to rid himself of the darkness. Kingdom Hearts 2. Maleficent is resurrected in Kingdom Hearts 2 when her raven, Diablo, takes the remains of her robe to Yen Sid's mysterious tower to use the memories of Flora, Fauna and Merryweather. She is later reunited with her lackey, Pete, who was absent from the first game due to his traveling in order to create a powerful Heartless army for her. Putting her plans to obtain Kingdom Hearts on hold, Maleficent seeks a new base of operations so she can resume her intent, along with getting her revenge on Sora, Donald, and Goofy. Her plans in the game include attempting to take over the Disney castle of the past, bribing the fairies Yuna, Riku, and Pain into spying on Leon's group, and sending Pete to different worlds so he could recruit old and new allies. Eventually, she reluctantly joins forces with Sora so they can stop Organization 13 before they can get Kingdom Hearts power instead of her, saving Sora from Saw X by teleporting him to the Gummy ship. She is last seen in the Organization's castle together with Pete, holding the Heartless at bay for Sora so he may defeat the Organization's leader Xemnas, intending to take the Organization's castle as payment, although the castle is destroyed before they can claim it. Kingdom Hearts, Birth by Sleep. In the series prequel, Kingdom Hearts, Birth by Sleep, taking place years before the main series storyline, Maleficent encounters Terra, Aqua, and Ventus when they come to her home world, Enchanted Dominion. The events that unfold essentially weave the events of the original film into the Kingdom Hearts continuity. Before any of them arrive in the Enchanted Dominion, Master Xehanort tells Maleficent of the 7 princesses of Heart, one of which is Aurora. As a fail-safe in case his own plans fail, Master Xehanort tells her to gather the 7 princesses, then departs. The first to encounter Maleficent is Terra, whom she hypnotizes into extracting Aurora's heart from her body with his Keyblade. Maleficent also sets up an ambush for Aurora's love, Prince Philip, to ensure that Aurora never awakens. Guided by the 3 fairies, Ventus breaks into Maleficent's lair and releases the heart, sending it back to Aurora's body. Maleficent catches Ventus and the two fight, with Ventus only barely winning as Aqua arrives. Maleficent informs them that Terra was the one who stole the heart while offering them to join her cause, but they flatly refuse as Ventus immediately leaves to track Terra down while Aqua ends up in Maleficent's dungeon where she finds Philip. Aqua and Philip break out of the dungeon and rush back to Aurora's castle to awaken her. Maleficent gives chase and assumes her dragon form to battle the two until Philip throws his sword straight into Maleficent's chest, severely weakening her and reverting her to her normal form. As Philip awakens Aurora, Maleficent decides to leave her world to start her own scheme to find the Princesses of Heart. To that end, Maleficent makes a detour to Disney Town to free Pete and take him as the first of her followers. Kingdom Hearts Coded. In Kingdom Hearts Coded, Maleficent, following the destruction of the castle that never was and the disappearance of the Heartless, is left without a base of operations or army. Still scheming, she sends Pete to Disney Castle to spy on King Mickey and hopefully help find her a way to take over, but Pete is sucked into the datascape along with Mickey, Donald, Goofy and Jiminy Cricket. Intrigued by the selection of worlds and presence of Heartless inside the datascape, Pete summons Maleficent, who is unaware that the datascape is actually an artificial realm created from the digitized contents of Jiminy Cricket's journal. Happy that Pete might have done something right for once, Maleficent searched through the datascape, disconnecting the way out for Mickey's group. When Data Jaffa fails to plunge Agrabah into darkness, Maleficent appears before the journal's incarnation of Sora called Data Sora. Most likely because she doesn't understand technology, Maleficent mistakes Data Sora for his genuine counterpart, despite Data Sora appearing younger than the real Sora did in their last meeting. Maleficent destroys Data Sora's first Keyblade before sicking Heartless on him. However, Mickey and Riku stop her. After revealing how she got inside the datascape, Maleficent captures Riku, and as Pete infests him with bugs to control him, unaware doing so may destroy all the journal's data stored inside Data Riku. After fixing Data Riku, Data Sora confronts her in the Data Hollow Bastion in her dragon form and drives her away. She later battles the digitized incarnation of Sora's Heartless before she and Pete are seemingly erased as Data Sora tries to save them, but following the battle, they are rescued through a rift in the data by Data Riku and safely escorted back to the real world. Kingdom Hearts 3D, Dream Drop Distance, Maleficent senses a change in the darkness, which is being caused by Master Xehanort's impending revival. Learning King Mickey, Donald and Goofy are away, Maleficent wastes no time in heading to Disney Castle and kidnapping Queen Minnie. She sends Diablo to the mysterious tower with a message and Minnie's crown. Maleficent confronts Mickey, saying she wants his world for herself. However, Mickey quickly points out she is lying, making Maleficent reveal her past meeting with Master Xehanort and how he was the one who told her of other worlds and of the Princesses of Heart. Maleficent demands the datascape in return for Minnie. However, she remains silent about what she is planning to use it for. When Mickey refuses, Maleficent tries to kill him. However, Lee's arrival causes Maleficent to lose her hostage and thus her bargaining chip. Maleficent takes her leave, promising to return for the datascape. Maleficent is later mentioned by Master Xehanort and King Mickey. She had simply been used by Master Xehanort to gather the Princesses of Heart for his plans. This would explain why Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, unlocked her heart in Kingdom Hearts. Maleficent was no longer of any use to Master Xehanort for his plans. Maleficent. On May 12, 2009, it was revealed that Brad Bird was developing a live-action motion picture, Maleficent, based on Sleeping Beauty, retold from the point of view of Maleficent, with Angelina Jolie starring as Maleficent. Robert Stromberg directed the film. Elle Fanning plays the princess, Charles Copley plays King Stefan, the male lead, while Imelda Staunton, Kenneth Cranham, Sam Riley, and Leslie Manville also have roles. The movie was released in the UK on May 28, 2014 and in the US on May 30, 2014, and the film will be distributed by Walt Disney Pictures. Filming is reportedly taking place in the Buckinghamshire countryside. Singer-songwriter Lana Del Rey has recorded a unique reimagining of Once Upon a Dream, the renowned fairy tale's signature tune, which played during the movie Euro unregistered trademark's closing credits. The song was used as the main soundtrack of the second trailer for the film, first released during the Grammy Awards show on January 26, 2014. Initially, a film presents Maleficent as a good fairy who protects the Moors from the humans. The Moors are a kingdom of supernatural beings neighboring the humans. Having befriended Stefan when they were children and slowly became something more, Maleficent was betrayed when her former lover used her weakness to iron to burn off her wings so that he could ascend the throne himself by proving his skill to the dying king. Maleficent was devastated. While walking, Maleficent saved a crow from being slaughtered. His name was Diaval, and she turned him human. He became her servant for her saving his life. She could shapeshift him into anything. One day she sent Diaval to spy on King Stefan. She found out the king had a daughter with the queen. Motivated by hatred, betrayal, and the notion that true love is non-existent, Maleficent placed her curse on the newborn Aurora as revenge on Stefan. However, because the fairies looking after Aurora proved to be neglectful, Maleficent cared for the child from afar and eventually grew to love her. That love proved essential for Maleficent to undo her curse, with Aurora restoring Maleficent's wings to her. Soon after, Maleficent crowns Aurora as the ruler of the Moors to unite their kingdoms forever. Other appearances: Disney's House of Mouse. Maleficent is a recurring character on the TV series House of Mouse. In Max's Embarrassing Date, Maleficent sits across from Jafar in human form, and it was stated by Mickey that the two villains were on a date, after which Maleficent zapped Jafar. In Halloween with Hades, Mickey had to help Hades win Maleficent's heart after she turns him down. She also appeared in the spin-off movie, Mickey's House of Villains, where she was constantly shown hanging around with Chernabog in her dragon form, hinting another possible relationship. During the villain's song, Our House Now, Chernabog wrapped an arm around her dragon form and remarked clearly, "Love your work." Fantasmic. In the nighttime show Fantasmic, performed at the Disneyland and Disney's Hollywood Studios theme parks, Maleficent is one of the Disney villains portrayed in the shows. In the shows, Maleficent is the true villain along with the evil queen, and they decide it is time to finish off Mickey Mouse once and for all, and invokes Disney villains to help her. They strike Mickey through his dreams and imagination, and Maleficent is the final villain to attack Mickey. The battle between Maleficent's European dragon incarnation and Mickey serves as the climax to the show. It is to be noted that Maleficent cries out before becoming the dragon, "Now you will deal with me, and all the powers of my imagination." Whereas, in the original film, she proclaimed, "Now shall you deal with me, O Prince, and all the powers of hell." Kingdom Keepers. In the book series by Ridley Pearson, Kingdom Keepers, Maleficent appears as one of the first Overtakers encountered as she intends to leave the confines of Disney World to take over the world. She recruits Giz with a spell due to the girl's abilities as a fairy could reveal her plans, but fails. She breaks the seal to revive Chernabog as they escape in an ice truck to Disney's Hollywood Studios. It is said that the temperature goes down when she is around. Later it's revealed she does this because warm temperatures weakened her magic. Later, in the fourth book, she and Chernabog are imprisoned in a hidden prison in Animal Kingdom, and during a blackout, the evil queen and Cruella de Vil make DHIs and rescue them. In the fifth book, Maleficent and the rest of the Overtakers ride the Dream on its first cruise, using Tia Dalma to revive Chernabog at full power. She meets her end in the sixth book when the Keeper's leader, Finn, rips a hole in her with his DHI powers. However, at the end of the seventh book, Tia Dalma enacts a ritual to resurrect Maleficent. Dream Along with Mickey. In the Dream Along with Mickey stage show at Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom, Maleficent is one of the villains who appear on stage to threaten Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Donald Duck and Goofy. Maleficent states that since people no longer believe in dreams, it is the perfect time for her to return to power and make the Magic Kingdom the place where nightmares come true, a play on the Disney Parks slogan of the place where dreams come true. But Mickey leads the crowd in a chant of dreams come true, and scares away Maleficent's minions, Captain Hook and Smee, as well as defeating Maleficent herself. Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Maleficent also makes appearances during Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party at the Walt Disney World Resort. She makes an appearance through her voice in Hello Wishes, a Halloween-themed fireworks show along with Ursula, Jafar, and Oogie Boogie. Susan Blakeslee provides Maleficent's voice in those cases. Maleficent also appears during the Disney Villains Mix and Mingle stage show at that same event. She appears alongside fellow Disney villains, including Captain Hook, Cruella de Vil, the Queen of Hearts, Jafar, and the Evil Queen. Walt Disney's World on Ice, Maleficent appears in the new version of the show Disneyland Adventure. When she terrorizes the resort, she puts the entire kingdom to sleep, and puts Minnie Mouse and Donald Duck into Sleeping Beauty syndrome. She later took over It's a Small World and Pirates of the Caribbean, but the Incredible Family managed to defeat her, though she vowed for revenge. Disney Divas, Maleficent is part of the Disney Divas lineup, a sub-franchise of the main Disney Villains franchise. Maleficent is the last diva to appear in the event at Disneyland, just as the Evil Queen and Cruella de Vil are complaining on Madame Mim's behavior. Next, Maleficent sings that old black magic alone and later with divas along with the whole cast of the show. Mickey Mousecapade, Maleficent is the final boss in the North American version of the video game Mickey Mousecapade created in 1987 for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Timon and Pumbaa, her dragon form makes a cameo appearance in a Firepit in Timon and Pumbaa. World of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck, Maleficent's theme is heard during the intro of World of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. At the end of the intro, the villainous cloaked sorcerer is shown. Epic Mickey, Power of Illusion, the evil witch Mizrabel takes the appearance of Maleficent in Epic Mickey, Power of Illusion. When Mickey fights Mizrabel, she transforms into Maleficent's dragon form to fight him. Once Upon a Time. Maleficent plays a role in the storylines for the 2011 American fantasy drama series Once Upon a Time, in which she is a sinister rival of the series' primary nemesis, the Evil Queen from Snow White. Maleficent is played by Kristen Van Stritten. She appears in a flashback in episode 2 of the first season, The Thing You Love Most. She is visited by the Evil Queen, Regina, who seeks to retrieve the dark curse that she gave to Maleficent in exchange for the sleeping curse she inflicted on Snow White. In this continuity, Maleficent has moved on from the incident with Princess Aurora and spends her days in a remote castle with a small black unicorn pony rather than her trademark raven from the Disney film. She wears purple in varying tones and still carries her trademark staff. Maleficent refuses to hurt her friend but, the two women battle. Regina breaks the staff open and takes the dark curse despite a warning from Maleficent that the curse will leave a hole in her soul. When Maleficent challenges Regina to kill her, Regina states she won't because Maleficent is her only friend. Maleficent appears in her dragon form in the Season 1 finale, A Land Without Magic, imprisoned by Regina in a series of mining tunnels in Storybrooke. She is slain by Emma Swan in order to retrieve a vial of true love magic that was placed in Maleficent's dragon form in the magical world. This vial was placed into her dragon form by Prince Charming, Emma's father, in the fairy tale world at the behest of Rumpelstiltskin before the Evil Queen cast the dark curse. In the second season, Maleficent is once again absent, although she is mentioned in the season premiere, Broken, which begins with Princess Aurora being rescued from her sleeping curse by Prince Philip and his traveling companion Mulan. Maleficent is mentioned again in the 11th episode of the season, The Outsider, where Belle is revealed in flashbacks to have broken a curse Maleficent put on Philip that transformed him into a Yaguai, leading to him meeting Mulan. Finally, Maleficent makes her first on-screen appearance of the season in The Evil Queen, some point after being restored to a ghostly form by a spell cast on her by Regina, which ensured she would always guard the lairs underneath Storybrooke. In this form, Maleficent battled Captain Hook, but he somehow managed to escape her and confront Regina. Hook did not offer any insight as to Maleficent's current state. Once Upon a Time in Wonderland, Maleficent, again portrayed by Kristen Van Stritten, makes an appearance in Once Upon a Time in Wonderland, in the third episode of the first season, Forget Me Not. Will Scarlet, who will later be known as the Knave of Hearts, tricks Robin Hood and his merry men into robbing Maleficent's castle and stealing her gold, unaware that Will actually wants to steal a magic-looking glass that can create a portal to Wonderland, through which he and his lover Anastasia plan to travel in search of a better life. Maleficent's disembodied voice later warns the merry men to return the looking glass as it will bring nothing but misery. Consistent with her portrayal in the original show, Maleficent displays a somewhat enlightened attitude, being more concerned with the danger the looking glass poses than anything else, as she tells the merry men that the gold is relatively worthless to her and they may keep it for all she cares. Disney Descendants. Kristin Chenoweth has signed on to play Maleficent in Disney Euro unregistered trademark S upcoming original Disney Channel movie Descendants, which follows the teenage children of Disney Euro unregistered trademark S iconic heroes and villains. Maleficent's on-screen daughter, Mal, will be played by Dove Cameron. Reception. Maleficent has been called one of the most sinister Disney villains. Guillermo del Toro has stated that along with Mithrax in Dragon Slayer, Maleficent is his favorite cinematic dragon. Voice actress Eleanor Audley and supervising animator Mark Davis were also praised for their work on the character. References. External links, official website, official Spanish website, Maleficent at the Internet Movie Database, Maleficent at the Big Cartoon Database, Disney Archives, Maleficent, Maleficent Games, the movie Walt Disney World Resort, Dream Along with Mickey, Maleficent the Movie.